Hello friends, welcome to Delsoka. My name is Delali Frank and this is News Daily where I serve you with all the major trending news in the last few hours. It's been a while. I'm sure you've all missed me. I've been away for a while. Was working with the African Games for God and country, but now we are back full time. In today's edition, we're going to talk about Ghana and the new FIFA ranking. We're also going to talk about Asamoah Baby Jet, who has also backed his former player. We're also going to talk about Inaki Williams and other conversations so far as the Black Stars is concerned. As usual, if it's your first time here, hit on the subscription button and let's build this community together. But without wasting much time, let's get straight into today's news. So let's start off from the camp of the Black Stars and Ghana for that matter. So the new FIFA ranking for April has been announced and Ghana unfortunately has dropped once again to 68. We were 67th, we have dropped to 68 and we are now 14th in Africa. It looks as if any time that FIFA ranking comes, Ghana goes ahead to drop. It's a bit disturbing but it's a reflection of our performance in recent years. If you look at the African Cup of Nations, we basically finished last in our group. After that, the other international friendlies, we failed to get a win. Ghana has played close to 10 matches and have failed to get a decent result. The only win we've managed to get is just one that we had when we were playing the African Cup of Nations qualifiers. The one that Inaki Williams scored the goal. It's a bit disturbing, but it tells you where we are and how low we've dropped as a country that believes in football, as a country that plays national team football. The FIFA ranking is mostly used, or mostly comes about based on how you perform against opponents and the coefficient of the opponents you are playing against. So if you look at Ghana against Nigeria, if we managed to get a decent result against Nigeria, it would have boosted our chances of moving forward. But unfortunately, we are not doing well. The reason why this FIFA ranking is also important is the fact that it affects your parents and the draws whenever they are doing the draws for the African Cup of Nations and even the qualifiers of the games. You get a better position. You get a better team because you are seeded. But if you are low, now Ghana is below the top 10. So if the next draw comes, Ghana will not be seeded. And that is a big challenge. The qualifying process and the teams you may face throughout the AFCON qualifiers may be tougher. You can be in the same group with top 2, top 3 teams, and it makes it a bit difficult to qualify. It's a bit challenging for Ghana, for a country that was once first in Africa and top 10 in the world. For us to come all the way to 68 is a bit disturbing and challenging. I'm hoping that Ghana would come back, but we can only come back when we get consistent run of results. If we're able to get consistent run of results, it will indeed help us. Now let's talk about Asamoah. Asamoah has been talking. He granted an interview, and one thing about Baby Jet is that he makes headlines. So he talked about a couple of things. The first one was he talked about Otuado and said Otuado is rebuilding and we need to give the Ghanaian the chance to rebuild. It's not going to be easy for him, but he believes that the Ghanaian stands a greater chance of doing well in his second coming. He also talked about his former player, John Pencil, who is now the assistant coach of Otuado. John Pencil, I should say, has come under a lot of criticism after the FA announced him as the assistant coach to Otuado. It's been a very tough one for him, but Asamoah believes that Ghanaians should give Joseph Pencil the benefit of the John Pencil, I should say, the benefit of the doubt and allow him to work, because he believes that the Ghanaian has given everything as a player for the Black Stars, and he being a coach, he believes he can also excel. Now, Baby Jet was asked about who he thinks the Black Stars should be built around, and he rightly and easily said Mohamed Kudus. According to him, there's been times where players have come And at every point and at every moment, there's always one player who stands out. Currently, he believes Mohamed Kudus is the best performing Ghanaian player in Europe. And as a result of that, the Black Stars should be built around him.
See, when you play, I will say you're building the national team around.
So far, no, it's obvious. It's obvious. And if make us say it's obvious, you know.
Yeah,
it's Mohamed Kudus.
Not the you.
It's Mohamed Kudus. And say, time when I was coming up, now we have Michael Asians, we have Stephen Appiah.
Yeah.
But be do me so. Because
you weave the team around you. You say you dance and you were the captain. And I don't know you.
Players are very trouble. I be play Arabai.
Yeah.
Stephen Appiah Arabai. Michael Asian Arabai. Asamoah Arabai. I think
they say Kudus era.
It looks like because Kudus is the only Ghanaian player performing in Europe.
Well
in Europe. And in your league, they say Premier League.
Wow.
He's the only Ghanaian performing. He's doing so well. And now only Ghanaian in Africa. He's doing so well in Africa. He's the only African player for now. He's doing so well.
Wow.
So we have to just support him.
But who the captain's armband Nija Andy the Morgana you? Who say as the captain of Jama no.
On a personal level, I think we need to have a system that will allow our best players to thrive, not necessarily building the team around them, but having a system that brings the best out of them. We need to find a system that will let our players excel, because that's the most important part. And for me, I believe it's something that we need to also take a closer look. Baby Jet is coming up with games. They're all regional games. He said it's one that was going to have a lot of games around it. He wants to give back to the society and develop young athletes. We're going to follow Baby Jets very well. And we're also keenly going to follow any other competition that comes around, so far as Ghana football is concerned. Let me know what you think about Ghana's ranking. Are we that low? Where are we heading towards? Is it something that we can work on and become the great again? Because now we have to move all the way from 6, 7, 8. Now we have to move all the way from 14, 11, come down all the way to 10 before we come to first. Do you think it's going to be a difficult one, or times and things will change if we move forward and start excelling? My name is Delali Frank. As usual, until we meet again, bye-bye for now.